it's named Batcher, that seems a bit more than coincidence. Sounds like Mickey. Come on, Rock.
Absolutely, Mick.
Come on,
Gotta go get Batcher with it. They're trying to get now back to the other members. The Empire's still on their tail, and I love that. I was afraid a little bit going from last episode that don't say it again, then.
Well, yeah.
That's boring.
No, say it every week.
Just kidding. Say it.
We
It depends. What is it?
Hunter and Wrecker at the end, they show up, and I'm not even.
I know.
I like when they're on screen, but the whole time I'm watching Omega and Crosshair, I'm like, I like the story where we're going. I'm not feeling like, at no point am I like, I got to get back to this or that or whatever. I'm enjoying the story, and you can see the depth and even just the intentional dialogue with Crosshair and Omega, and how Omega continues to just kind of tug at Crosshair little by little. Different scenarios coming up to really reel him in and kind of bring him back to show him that there's a better way to just go about other than like basically his life now, as opposed to just being.
It's a very Jurassic Park-esque.
Yes,
kind of with the shit voice. Which is better? Well, strength is great, but authority is way better.
Yes.
Well, strength is great, but authority is way better.
Yes. Yeah.
And so Hemlock, when he speaks, he knows he doesn't have to be loud. He can just use his authority. Speaks way louder, and it makes it more intimidating.
When the lab
you will never escape.
Like, wait a second.
Wait a second.
I've heard that before.
I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from.
And then he moonwalks out.
When he said, "The way you make me feel is quite upsetting." You're like, wait, why is he just quoting MJ lyrics the whole time?
It's all characters. Michael Jackson quotes.
Well, I would love it if he just starts throwing well, this is Thriller. What's the least obvious, or what's the least seamless? You could just beat it, just beat it. He does a little. I did think it was weird that he grabbed the other Imperial and they grabbed their pocket knife and started dancing.
That was weird. In the big red jacket.
Remember when he walked in the all-white suit with the hat and started performing Smooth Criminal?
He is a smooth criminal.
Oh, I love it.
He's dangerous, too.
He is dangerous. He's dangerous. He's bad.
He's PYT. No, I'm just kidding.
Where can they find us, Nate? Where can they get us out?
Everyone is clearly subscribed for the Michael Jackson reference.
Yeah.
I was thinking at the end, though, maybe
we were manipulated. I'm really interested to see where I love that we got to the moment of him getting to them.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if that would happen this episode. But I'm also glad that they didn't just immediately go like, "Oh, there's our buddy Crosshair." Like, it's a complicated thing, and I like
know all the
have
stuff
to
that he
work through
did.
it a little bit.
Omega.
Watching that scene in the moment, I'm like, this is being laid out in perfect order. Like, Wrecker waiting for the Hunter reveal, just knowing
reserved.
that connection's a little more father-daughter.
That's right.
Waiting for that, having that take place, and then reminding everybody, wait a second, what's this gonna like? In the back of our mind, I'm like, this is great. They're all smiling. Good reunion. How are they going to react when they see Crosshair walk down the other side?
Yeah,
but
and he had moments he could have walked away. There's several moments he could have split off.
Yeah.
And Omega openly told him, gave him the chance. Says, "Here's the credits. If you want to go. But I'm not leaving. I'll find my own way."
It's so interesting too, because going like through the journey of Crosshair right now, he also, for a long time, and now that he's actually back with the group, it's interesting where his thoughts are, because he, going back to last couple episodes before that, was very much in the camp of, yes, I'm against the Empire. That doesn't mean I'm necessarily with. Remember, he's like, even in this, he's like, Omega, we need to go. We're not going back. We also, I deserve to be in here. Like, he has this guilt over what he did.
Yeah.
Go, I don't need to be in here. But what we don't really know, because we haven't heard a lot of dialogue from him of like, yes, I'm excited to go back to be with my brothers. But he knows that they have to get away, and that they are going to, and that this is the place to go. And obviously, I do think internally, he realizes he's made all these mistakes, and he wants to be back with them.
But he's also nervous.
He's nervous about what that means. He's nervous about what, like, this isn't someone who we've seen be super vulnerable, other than a couple of his conversations with Omega, where he's said like, I've made mistakes, but it's not a lot of like it feels him walking up to the line, getting close to like being ready to say I'm sorry for a lot of this stuff. But his brothers are also like, we tried to save you on Camino, you refuse.
Right.
Like we try, and then and also in that same way, during all the Camino stuff where he's kind of like left there, even though they're trying to get him to come with them, he also feels like there's a lot of real world people who have like, they have made mistakes, and then in the twisted way in which they've made mistakes and have been separated from people, they then feel they then blame people for like leaving them.
Yeah.
Like he also feels hurt, like, yes, you've separated away from me, like even though it was my own doing.
Yeah.
I felt like I was left and I was not a part of the group. And
That's why I did it. That's why I did it. Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, but we wanted you to come back, and like there's this whole thing between them. I'm really excited to see
Omega
it back. Also, it just makes the batch bigger again.
Yeah.
Bad Batch was just
bigger bad.
Bigger batch.
You know,
A lot of
the
bad.
most beautiful batch we've
lot
ever
of them
seen, and
batching it
will pay for it.
It just spirals into this.
It does. I like how they ended it too with the
Sid will pay for the batch.
That's where it's going.
I like how they ended it too with
Goggles.
the like encounter but no dialogue yet, and kind of
Yeah.
so it's like we got a little bit.
Yeah.
Good
Also,
little
how about that
cliffhanger.
shot with like the multiple moons or planets?
Oh,
that looked
yeah.
also
incredible.
I was
very
gonna
cool.
say
That looks so
even
cool.
the
The
animation
is insane.
in this season, but this episode particularly, even from the very beginning, I was like, does it look a little different? Like, does it look even better? Like, this
It looks
there-
so good.
The whole time this episode, different moments, I was like, the animation looks like even better, like the best it's ever been.
Is it all of it motion capture now? Are they acting these things out, or how
It's
they?
a good question. After they did all the stuff for Clone War, the final
Clone
season
Wars,
of Clone
I
Wars,
wonder
I'm
how
not sure
much.
how much they.
I don't know.
Is
Because this
mocap-
show's interesting because the soldier stuff, they totally could do a lot of that being, because there's not lightsaber fighting.
No.
So the majority of it, you would think like just the regular walking around, they don't have to motion capture stuff. But the soldier stuff, some of it looks so good. I do think like so technical with the way that guns are like
Yeah.
they're you know,
Yeah.
like the weapons are held and stuff. I wonder. I'm not sure actually the
I don't know.
process of how they.
I don't know if they've still carried on something. I know they, obviously
I do
they
love
did
the
for-
detail though, like even the close-up shots of the small details, like the forehead creases on a Hemlock's head, like like stuff that makes them look so much more like real people.
Yeah.
Like
It's weird because there's definitely moments like you're saying where it looks like this intentionally looks like very realistic, but you're also like, but it's clearly it has its own animation style. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. The animations are great,
I'm loving it. 4 episodes in, and
and we're crying already.
I know.
I am already. Yeah, this was a
Meg's
great
killing
We were
me.
talking about how
Killing
the
me.
side episodes. Well, there's some side episodes. Whether Star Wars is known for the Pinewood Studios, they go to London. They do, and like they have their. The article goes on to say that this is kind of a Favreau thing. That Favreau, as of late, only makes his movies in California. He never leaves to go to do stuff. Which thing I got a little bit nervous because I was thinking movie going.
I think with the Mandalorian show, that sometimes has its limits with the volume. Is you can see
Dr. Zhivago or Laura Cleopatra, the scope and the size, it doesn't ever feel, it doesn't fade. That
No.
it still looks great just because it's actually that
It's
size.
actually the size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you're
when you,
actually at this location.
Yeah, you
like part of
can't-
what made Tatooine is like so they're actually
that's exactly
in
right.
this desert, like they're actually here.
So yeah.
on this location.
So what you see in the moment
Mm-hmm.
looks great, but does it look great 30 years from now?
Yeah.
Because your eye is dependent upon the technology rather
Yes.
than actual things. So
Yeah.
will it look great? Probably.
Yeah.
Will it feel like that size of a dune or something?
Yeah.
I don't
Dude's a good-
know.
yeah,
That's-
that's a good
I don't
point.
know.
Yeah.
that's,
Maybe.
that's my only. And
But
again,
I think
it's not
but,
out yet.
but it's not for sure. Like I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
if you go,
It's
and
not
who
for
am I
sure.
to say? Go spend $300 million and
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
you know
Yeah, exactly.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, it does. I do wonder: is it
That
going to
is the
feel
only
the same?
thing,
Is it
yeah.
going to feel the same? I don't know.
It feels like, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
That's my only, not hesitation or concern really, but just like my only thoughts are: is it going to feel like big grand Star Wars movie?
And
yeah,
granted, there's so much landscape in California. You can shoot entire.
And I know that they
shot
I
civilization.
know they shot some of Mando season 2.
Yeah,
particularly the Boba Fett episode.
Yep.
On the hillside, that was an actual location in
California.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So they
maybe they'll build a massive, huge volume. Just make it even bigger.
they could.
True.
Like, to save money, we're gonna build the most
We're
expensive.
gonna spend $200 million.
Amazing.
Well, then they could reuse it.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
definitely.
I don't
Definitely.
know.
That's an investment.
I do have some. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
that's
see.
an investment. So that's how I feel. I didn't read this and go, oh no, but it was like, I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah.
Also, Favreau knows what he's doing, especially movie wise. Obviously, he's done a great job with Mandalorian, but Favreau,
He's
filmmaker,
directing that one.
He's directing it.
Yeah.
Writing and directing. So that's exciting. Are concerned whether or not Pedro Pascal is involved in it
At all.
Yeah, actual like Hollywood reporter, like to be, is still unknown whether like the level or if Pascal, will be a part of this project. It is very well known that he has recently been cast as Reed Richards in Fantastic Four and named and they've already announced, Star Wars has announced that this movie is starting to film in July, and people were looking at his open commitments that are already very public, and people were like, this dude's not gonna be on set at all. Like
Well, he's definitely not gonna be. If he does